This is Freedom Frequency Friday. Happy Friday, high day. Hope everybody having a cool day, afternoon, cool evening, cool night. We're gonna start this off early. I did do a Detroit after dark last night because my motherfucking bus want to be an hour fucking late. I mean, like the other bus that was supposed to come through didn't even come up. It just motherfucking just stopped. So like another bus had to come through and like do his little motherfucking usual rest instead of motherfucker going to his last stop and turning around and coming out, or even like asking the other bus driver, like, yo, bro, you're supposed to be motherfucking rolling. This motherfucker probably fell asleep. Bus drivers be falling asleep too. Yeah. And no one fires them, not even the higher ups. It's like they all work together to keep these bus drivers, even though they're fuck ups. It's a system designed to keep us motherfucking really angry and stressed the fuck out. They want us to snap and kill these evil motherfuckers, and we're going to do it too. And it's going to be glorious. Salute, Charles. What up, though? It's good. It's early in the morning. I want to talk about all forms of magic. All forms of magic. I got a 31-minute video. Have I heard the new track? Nope, haven't heard it yet. Haven't heard it yet. Man, shit, man, nigga, I was so motherfucking pissed off yesterday. Shit, I got for work. I don't even know what time you dropped it, because I was probably at work. Because once I got off, I was so motherfucking heated at the motherfucking bus stop. I came in, I just motherfucking I motherfucking smoked the blunt, and pre-recorded some shit for the day, and I'm surprised I didn't see another motherfucking. I didn't even see a notification on my phone. Well, I got my second phone, get all notifications, but I left my second phone here, at the crib. But like when you drop it this morning or last night, because I was probably at work or busy. Like whenever the time you drop it, I was probably definitely at work, probably. Unless you just dropped it recently. Because I just been up for about I've been up for about like an hour. I have to motherfucker record a couple more clips. I have to record this shit for this morning. Yeah. Oh, I didn't upload it yet, but I played it on your live stream. Would have uploaded today. All right, cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. I must have missed the live. I must have missed that live. Because you be going live early too. I only go live early on some impromptu shit. I don't be trying. I be just trying to get shit out the way early and try to take care of some business through the day, to come back in the afternoon, do another couple lives probably. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to work my schedule around my first lady. My lady Avanta over there in the UK. But yeah. But I ain't hear it yet. But I definitely drop a like and a comment for sure when you drop it. But yeah, what I'm about to talk about I was about to talk about all forms of magic. This is Freedom Frequency Friday. You already know what it is. It's 9:21 in Detroit. Yep, been pumping out songs. Oh. Yep, I remember doing that shit for 3 months straight. 3 months straight, day to day, uploading one, sometimes 2 tracks a day. Yeah. Yeah. But that motivation is gone. Well, at least mine is, until I really get it back. But like shit, right now, like I feel I dropped enough. It's time for me to slow down anyway. I got 7 albums to do. I can chill. Like, I didn't even drop a mixtape yet. I need a motherfucker to drop a mixtape real quick. Just on some play shit. Like, let me drop a mixtape. Let me just experiment on some shit, see what I can fuck with. But yeah. Yeah. You guys spells over frequency. We do magic. Yep. And that's part of one of the magic things. Like I said, I'm talking about all forms of magic today, right now. All forms of magic. And right there, what you just said, we cast spells over with frequency, we do the magic. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna definitely talk about that. But you about to break down. There's so many motherfucking different magic systems, and when I realized what the fuck I was using, I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention I did use a little blood magic. When I heard this shit again, it reminded me of the other magic system I used. I used blood magic too. My blood, because it's personal and it connects to your soul. So it's like bedded up. I cut my thumb and I put it on my door seal, in my front door, and my back door, or my side door, like if I ever have it, and put it on my bedroom. You know, still the same intention, peace and protection. But I forgot to add that. I forgot to add it. I did the sigil shit, the visualization, affirmation, manifestation, the altar work. But I forgot to mention blood magic. I did do blood magic. Yeah. Just prick your finger or thumb, and whoop. You're bugging, I know. But that shit protect my motherfucking crib from a fire. You better go check my community posts. You better go check my community posts. But this is what part of the magic is. All forms of magic. And this is chaos magic and blood magic. And it's like it fucks with only what works. Do with what works and what resonates with your mind, body, and spirit, but it gotta be in line. And your nervous system can't be fucked up either. Shit gotta be perfect. And then you walk away and let it work in your subconscious. Like once you speak the affirmation and write down the sigils and you put your power into it, and you put your blood on it to motherfucking like the blood kind of, let's just say, it supercharges the shit. It supercharges the shit. It's kind of like some crystals too. It kind of like extra enhances the shit. And the more your power and the more your intentions is, the more the motherfucking shit gonna work. It's your inner self that creates the power. That's the fucking powerful shit. That's the powerful shit. And maybe that's why the government ain't coming after, because they probably saw that fucking video. And whether anybody know it or not, there was a lot of shit that they cut out of that news segment. A lot of shit that I said that they cut out. There was a lot of shit that they couldn't show either, because the sigils was on my walls. I had my chakra system and everything. They couldn't really show, you know what I'm saying? They really couldn't show that, But shit, that shit protect my crib from a fucking fire. Salute, eyes wide shut. There's crystals you can put over your door and windows that keep moving spirits out. Oh no. Yeah, yes, I heard about that. But like when I use crystals, I just use it for meditation. Like I just speak the affirmation and create the visualization to motherfucker deal with the evil spirits and and create my own sigils. But also with the motherfucking chaos magic, if like the symbol that you believe, like the symbol of protection, if you put your intention on that symbol that you know is for protection, that bitch will work. That shit will work. But you got to be in line, mind, body, and spirit. That's the only way it works. You can't be on no half-ass shit, because your subconscious will know. It's like something crazy happened in front of you. Your nervous system immediately operates in panic mode or survival mode. But you're trying to be the positive individual. I'm not gonna let this get to me. Think positive thoughts. Think positive thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak an affirmation. I'm gonna speak positive affirmation, toxic positivity type shit. And nothing gets done because your fucking nervous system already activated. Like, nigga, nah, nigga. You can say all that shit and it won't work. And it's proven through the practice. And what we're doing right now, Charles, whether you know it or not, because we about to talk about this too. What we're doing is techno magic. We doing shit through music. We putting our spells through our words. And we're changing the game. That's what we're doing right now. Unbelievable, ain't it? This message got to get out there. We're on techno magic. You feel me? You already know. But we're about to get into it. We're about to talk about all forms of magic. Let's go.
Aromancy is the ancient art of divining messages from the air, literally air prophecy. Aromancy. Aromancy is the ancient art of divining messages from the air, literally air prophecy. It falls under the broader category of meteoromancy.
Salute, Oswald. Sure. What up, though?
But aromancy focuses specifically only on interpreting atmospheric phenomena to gain spiritual insight, make predictions, or receive divine warning. In ancient Mesopotamia, priests would gaze at the movement of clouds, the direction of winds, or the sudden appearance of storms to determine the will of the gods. In Greek and Roman traditions, augurs often watched how birds flew through the air, called auspices, believing that their patterns revealed the favor or disfavor of the gods. Some forms of aromancy also involved watching for halos around the moon, lightning strikes, cloud formations, and even echoes or how sound traveled in certain conditions. Sound magic. Sound magic is the use of vibration, frequency, and resonance to influence energy, consciousness, and the surrounding environment.
Yes, we do sound magic too, whether we know it or not, Charles. And Oswasha. Sound magic also. Y'all just heard what he just said? We're using the sounds from the verses that we spit, the waves and frequencies from the beat, and let it radiate for everybody to listen to. That's sound magic. You gotta believe in yourself.
Operates on the belief that sound is not just heard, but felt, affecting matter, emotions, and even spiritual state. This form of magic spans many traditions. In ancient Egypt, sacred chants were used in temple rituals. In Hinduism and Buddhism, mantras like Om are considered vibrational keys to divine state. In the West, Hermetic and occult schools explored how specific tones and words could align with planetary or elemental forces. Sound magic can involve spoken incantations, singing bowls, tuning forks.
Yep, singing bowls, tuning forks. I use all that shit in my meditation. Oh yeah, the singing bowls, the frequencies, all this continuous vibration, always in motion, conductor of energy like salt in the ocean. You see, you got me quoting Chuck the God now. You feel me? You got me quoting Charles in this bitch.
Drumming, or even modern sound frequencies like binaural beat. Practitioners may use these tools to cleanse spaces, raise energy, enter trance states, or manifest intentions. Certain syllables, pitches, or rhythms are believed to open portals, connect with spirits, or harmonize the body's internal energy system.
That's right.
Magic. Technomagic is the fusion of modern technology with ancient magical principles, blending circuits, code, and digital tools with intention, symbolism, and ritual. It treats technology not just as a utility, but as a powerful medium for manifestation, transformation, and energetic influence. Practitioners of technomagic might charge sigils using flashing images on screens, encode intentions into music files, or perform rituals through apps, websites, or even virtual environments. Smartphones become
Technomagic.
Talismans, algorithms act as incantations, and social media becomes a modern spellbook broadcasting desire and influence at massive scale. Though new and formed, technomagic is rooted in old ideas, the power of symbols, repetition, and it shares the same idea with chaos magic that belief is a tool and adapts it for a digital age where energy flows through fiber optics and thought forms can go viral. In technomagic, the sacred and synthetic merge. Love magic. Love magic is a form of spiritual or ritual practice focused on attraction, connection, passion, and emotional healing. It includes a wide range of techniques aimed at influencing love-related situations, whether it's drawing in
Yep,
a
I
new
need
partner,
some too.
strengthening an existing relationship, encouraging self-love, or mending a broken bond. Traditionally, love magic involves items associated with affection and beauty, rose petals, honey, locks of hair, perfumes, and symbols of Venus. Spells are often performed during waxing moons, Fridays associated with love deities, or in private, emotionally charged settings. Practitioners may use sigils, charms, mirror work,
Digital
not magic,
Eden.
or written petitions to direct energy toward romantic intentions. While some forms seek to attract specific individuals, many modern practitioners focus more on magnetizing love in general or empowering personal worth and desirability. Ethical love magic emphasizes consent and alignment with mutual will rather than, manipulation. And at its core, love magic channels focused emotion into symbolic action, believing the desire when ritual can shape real-world relationships and emotional experiences. Mirror magic. Mirror magic is a mystical practice.
Love magic is dangerous. Never fucked with it. Love magic is dangerous as shit. Because you don't want to fuck up. You don't want to fuck that up. I try to let the love come naturally on some real shit. And plus, I think what kept me away from not fucking with love magic, TV, movies, when every time they motherfucker do a love spell on somebody, some shit always backfire in the end. It always backfire in the end in the worstest way possible. But they make it look funny in the show, but in real life, nigga, the shit is devastating. I like Rick and Morty's version. Motherfucker had a motherfucking love potion, and then the shit ended and everybody turning into Cronenberg monsters. I'm straight on the love potion, love spells. Let the shit come naturally. Let this fucking shit come naturally. Because we see what happens in movies, TV shows, and in cartoons. Okay? Cupid need his ass beat and fired. Out here shooting niggas with arrows and shit. Like, all right. You know what Shiva did to one of those Cupid motherfuckers? Shiva wasn't playing. Shiva wasn't playing. Nigga got shot like, and plus, dude felt the love for a bit. Then he motherfucker got to wake up and realize, wait a minute. Fought that Cupid and killed his ass. I got to go back to that story, but Shiva wasn't playing. I was like, bitch, I'm in the middle of meditation. Yes, this girl is right here, and you forcing me to love this bitch. I'm following the path of peace about the meditation. You son of a bitch. He was on some Black Dynamite shit. It was like, what I tell you about disturbing me in my meditation. But let's get back to it.
Uses mirrors as tools for reflection, divination, protection, and gateway work. Far more than objects of vanity, mirrors in magical traditions are believed to hold power as portals between worlds, dimensions, or layers of consciousness. In ancient...
Never tried mirror magic yet. Never tried. Never tried. Want to try it, but never tried. But I feel that the systems that I have now is pretty cool. Got your ass. Hello, spiritual ego. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, you was just about to motherfucking say you feel that you got it all. Get your ass in this cage with the ego. I'm going to learn mirror magic. Remember, I told you I was going to find a spiritual ego. I told you it's going to happen when I feel that I fully know what I know and I don't need nothing else. That was the moment. And I caught myself. Woo! Got your ass, spiritual ego. Hello. Heard about you through Carl Jung, motherfucker. So, this is long overdue.
Cultures, polished obsidian, silver, or even bronze surfaces were used for scrying, gazing into the mirror to receive visions, messages from spirits, or glimpses of the future. This practice continues today, where black mirrors are often used in ritual to enter trance states or access the subconscious. Mirror magic can also involve spells of reversal, where negative energy or curses are reflected back to their sender. Some practitioners enchant mirrors to act as psychic shields, deflecting harm and maintaining energetic boundaries. Others use them in glamour magic to amplify beauty, confidence, and attraction by charging the mirror with intention. Bone magic. Bone magic is a form of spiritual and ritual practice that involves the use of bones, human or animal, as tools for divination, spellwork, protection, and communication with the dead. It is rooted in ancient traditions where bones were seen not just as physical remains, but as vessels of memory, life force, and ancestral power. In many indigenous and shamanic cultures, bones were used in casting rituals to interpret signs, omens, and messages from the spirit world. The structure and placement of the bones held symbolic meaning, offering guidance or prophecy. Some practitioners carved sigils into bones, used them as amulets, or placed them on altars to anchor spirits or ward off harm. Bone magic also intersects with necromancy, where bones are believed to retain a spiritual connection to the dead. Working with them becomes a way to honor ancestors.
Yeah, but the evil motherfuckers that run this bitch took the bones of Geronimo, hashtag Skull and Bone Society 322 or the 332. Which one is it again? I'm high. You know that wake and bake is kicking in. It's kicking in. Is it 322? Skull and Bones. Heard they got the bones of Geronimo from the motherfucking tribes and shit. The fuck you doing with those bones? It ain't trying to connect with the ancestors. I think you did that shit. Be like, look what we did to your ancestors. We're gonna use it as a prop and make it a motherfucking face of the shit. Like, what? But the Skull and Bones is just one out of many, many crazy motherfucker fraternity. Well, I can't call it a fraternity. I'm gonna call it a secret order of fucking faggots. That's what I'm gonna call it. But watch the Skulls movie. I covered that on my Matrix versus Reality. The first Skulls movie was great. Craig T. Nelson from Poltergeist, and plus he was Coach from the show Coach. But yeah, great fucking movie. Skulls was a good movie. And Paul Walker, I think it was Paul Walker's first movie, I think. He said the phones and laptops are scrying mirrors. Da-da-da. See, you know it. You already know it. You already know it. Like what they call it, the black mirrors with TV, the black mirror. Yep.
Protection or channel ancient wisdom. Time magic. Time magic is a conceptual and mystical practice focused on manipulating, perceiving, or aligning with the flow of time. Unlike physical time travel in science fiction, time magic operates on a symbolic, spiritual, or energetic level, allowing practitioners to influence their past, present, or future through intention, ritual, or altered states of consciousness. In some traditions, time is viewed as a non-linear loop, meaning the past can be healed, the present can be empowered, and the future can be shaped. Practitioners may use meditation, dream work, sigils, or astrological timing to access specific moments, shift timelines, or slow down internal perception.
Now, when it comes to time magic, I have to get mentally prepared for time magic because my intentions are time is not real. So if I'm going to dive into time magic, I got to change my mentality and to be like, okay, time is real, but it's linear, but I can control it. So if I can get into that mind frame, then I can be able to deal with time magic. Because if I can shift timelines, if we can shift fucking timelines, nigga, we out of this one. Best believe that. Best believe that. And it seems like the word escapism comes back. But in the literal sense, we want to get the fuck out of here. Fuck this planet. Fuck this galaxy. Fuck this whole goddamn universe. I want out. We over here paying taxes to pedophiles. In this side of the universe and galaxy, we're paying taxes to pedophiles. We're paying... They're making us pay for grapes, apples, water. I want out. So time magic, I got to change my mentality because remember, everything got to be in sync, mind, body, and spirit. I'm not about to go into time magic half-ass. I might motherfucking fuck myself up. You know?
It can also involve rituals that align with cosmic or seasonal cycles, like solstices, moon phases, or planetary transits, amplifying magical outcomes through divine timing. Some forms focus on chronomancy or divination through time, predicting future outcomes or choosing the most auspicious moment for action. Basically, time magic challenges the idea that we are trapped in a linear flow. Instead, it treats time as a flexible medium, one that can be bent, read, or realigned through will, awareness, and symbolic action. Elemental magic.
Okay. Will, awareness, and symbolic magic. Okay. I could say that I'm halfway there with that, but still, part of me keep on saying time doesn't exist. So that's what I got to get over if I want to dive into time magic. But now we on elemental magic. And this is what I've seen all over the world. Y'all can probably look this up online. There's people air bending, water bending, fire bending, and earth bending, and doing telekinesis across the world.
This is a foundation.
Oh yeah, and I want y'all to read this book called Chinese Super Psychics.
System of magical practice that works with the core building blocks of existence: earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. These elements are not just physical substances.
Earth, fire, wind, water, heart, gold planet. By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero. You know, the corporations was mad at that motherfucking show. You know why the corporations was mad at that show? Because the show made the corporations look bad. Because in the show, the corporations was the bad guys. Yes, they may looked at all weird and looked at all kind of monstrous and shit, but they was really fucking up the community, fucking up the world, fucking up the planet and shit. You know what I'm saying? Gaia, the spirit of the earth, played by Whoopi Goldberg. You know, 5 young people from different parts of the world coming together to stop these corporations. Young ass teenagers, just like the Power Rangers. Give me 5 teenagers with attitude. Then they had that 6th member, and then it was the Tommy Show. Just do it, guys. Right. It's morphin' time.
Represent different energies and principles that govern the natural world and human experience. Each element holds its own symbolic power and magical associations, and practitioners use them to create balance, manifest intentions, and deepen spiritual connection. Earth is the element of stability, grounding, and structure. It governs the material world, our bodies, homes, finances, and all that is solid and lasting. Water represents emotion, intuition, healing in the subconscious. It's fluid, adaptable, and tied to purification and emotional depth. Fire symbolizes transformation, energy, passion, and willpower. It destroys and creates, fueling both destruction and rebirth. Air governs intellect, communication, inspiration, and movement. It's tied to breath, ideas, and freedom. Spirit, also known as ether or quintessence, is the invisible force that unites all elements. It's the source of consciousness, divinity.
Yep. And we are the walking elements. I say we are the walking embodiment of the universe. We have all the powers of the universe in us: earth, fire, wind, water, light, darkness, time, and space. Don't believe me? The earth, the body. Water is the blood. The air, the breath. You know. What is that? Earth. Yeah. Fire is your temperature. You know what's our temperature? 98.6 degrees, right? If it was 98.6 degrees right now as we speak, would y'all be sweating bullets right now? Yes, sir. That's hot. So that's earth, fire, wind, water. Light is our consciousness. Darkness is the shadow. Time and space There's a lot of space in people's heads. They need to learn how to start thinking. And time is not existent or linear. So, but it depends on perception. And then we got spirit. That's our, I guess, our spirit, our soul, or whatever. But all that shit lives within us. We just got to tap into it.
Divinity and connection beyond the physical realm. In elemental magic, rituals and spells are crafted with these forces in mind. Practitioners might use natural correspondences, like burning candles for fire, drawing symbols in dirt for earth, or using incense to call air to amplify their work. The goal is not to control the elements, but to form a relationship with them, recognizing them as living energies within and around us. It is about harmony. By working with these primal forces, the practitioner aligns with the rhythm of nature and the cosmos, transforming not just their surroundings, but themselves. Psionic magic. This is the fusion of mysticism and mental power, a form of magic that taps directly into the mind's raw potential. Unlike traditional spellcasting that uses chants, tools, or rituals, psionic magic operates through pure willpower, concentration, and inner control. It's the realm of telepathy, telekinesis, clairvoyance, and mind shields, the superpowers of the magical world. The word psionics comes from psi, the Greek letter used to denote psychic phenomena. Psionic practitioners believe that the mind is the ultimate magical tool. Instead of drawing energy from nature, spirits, or symbols, they channel magic from within, like a mental beam piercing through reality. In fiction, you'll see this in characters who can move objects without touching them, communicate mind to mind, or even crush enemies with a thought. But in occult practice, psionic magic is subtler. It might involve mental projection, astral scanning, remote influence, or constructing psychic defenses. Some chaos magicians, energy workers, and modern mystics experiment with psionic techniques, meditating deeply, visualizing energy constructs, or using tools like radionics machines and psychic sigils. It blurs the line between science fiction and spirituality, often linked to New Age, cyber magic, and experimental occult systems. Enchantment. This is a form of magic that involves imbuing an object, person, or place with magical property.
Much love, Emma. Yeah. Yep, I was at work. I couldn't leave a message. Like I came back. I'll probably I missed my spot, but I was at work that day. But on the next time, I asked the next question. But my question was going to be, will the revolution begin between now and 2031? That was going to be my question. Yeah, but I put the laughing emoji. Yeah, but great live though. Great live. But what I'm talking about is magic. All forms of magic. Yep, talk about all forms of magic. You will. Yeah, we will be one later. But yep, I'm talking about all forms of magic.
At its core, it's about transforming something ordinary into something extraordinary by charging it with intention, emotion, or power. An enchanted item becomes more than what it appears. A ring might grant protection, a charm might attract love,
Yeah, this
or
enchantment
a sword
magic
might carry a will of its own. Unlike spells that fade quickly, enchantments are often long, designed to hold magic over time. This practice appears across nearly every magical tradition, from fairy tales to ceremonial magic. Enchanters often use rituals, spoken word, symbols, or energy transfer to...
Exactly. Yep. You just don't know it. Yeah, we're just talking about that. Yep.
Bind a spell into a physical form. It can be as simple as whispering a wish into a necklace, or as complex as a multi-day consecration ritual. Enchantment is also psychological. It affects not just the object, but how people perceive and interact with it. Curse or hex magic. This is the deliberate act of directing harmful, disruptive, or binding energy toward a target, often as a form of punishment, justice, or defense. Unlike general baneful magic, curses and hexes are specific, targeted workings meant to produce misfortune, illness, confusion, or spiritual unrest in someone's life. They are often rooted in emotional intensity, anger, betrayal, protection, or vengeance.
Exactly.
They're crafted with the intention.
Because it's called spelling. Spelling bee. It's like it's a spell. It's in the words. It's in the word. Abracadabra. Abracadabra. I don't know why I thought about the Bugs Bunny cartoon. Yo, when he kept on saying it, abracadabra. Get one fucking that motherfucker up. Yep. Yep. Spell that. Wingardium Leviosa.
Of creating a lasting effect unless broken or lifted. Practitioners may use personal links like hair, names, photographs, or belongings to anchor the spell, and often employ symbolic tools like dolls, pins, dark candles, or cursed objects. The energy can be subtle and slow burning or immediate and chaotic, depending on the method and purpose. In many traditions, curses are seen as morally complex, not inherently evil, but powerful and serious, with consequences for both the sender and receiver. Some magicians view them as tools of justice when all else fails, while others avoid them altogether due to the potential for energetic backlash or karmic debt. Threshold magic. This is the practice of harnessing the power of liminal spaces, the points of transition between two states or worlds. These include physical places like doorways, windows, and crossroads, as well as temporal moments like dusk, dawn, or the instant between waking and sleeping. Magicians believe these in-between zones are spiritually charged, offering a unique opportunity to access hidden realms, perform powerful transformation spells, or create protection barriers. Thresholds are seen as moments where reality is more fluid and the veil between dimensions becomes thin. Rituals might involve placing sigils at entrances, casting spells during twilight, or speaking intentions while crossing a boundary. In folklore, thresholds were feared and revered, often marked, guarded, or blessed, because they symbolize change, initiation, and the unknown. Threshold magic embraces that symbolism, using the edge of things to create real magical change. Echo magic. This is a subtle and mysterious form of magic that operates on the principle of resonance and return. Instead of working...
Now, echo magic, I've never heard of this. Never heard of this. But what you about to hear is like probably something that y'all probably seen somewhere. But it's like I never heard of echo magic before.
Instantly, this type of magic is designed to linger, bounce back, or activate later, like an echo in a canyon. A spell might be cast with specific words, sounds, or emotional frequencies that only trigger when those conditions are repeated. Practitioners use echo magic to create delayed effects, protective rebounds, or memory-synculated enchantments that feel almost sentient, as if the spell itself is waiting for a cue. This magic is deeply connected to sound, time, and vibration, and often uses tools like whispered incantations, acoustic chambers, or even written words charged to respond upon being read aloud. It can be used to implant magical responses into spaces, objects, or even people, creating spells that replay under the right circumstances. Dreamweaving.
Shit! I gotta get hip with time. I need to use that. Oh my fucking God. Remember I told you, I know I say a lot of shit on this bitch, but there's some shit that I really can't say. But what I can't say is like what I might use echo magic for. Holy shit. My intention is there and it is complete. Holy shit. Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back real quick. Let me just go back real quick. All right, that's 1322. All right, let's go back.
Uses tools like whispered incantations, acoustic chambers, or even written words charged to respond upon being read aloud. It can be used to implant magical responses.
As possible being read aloud. That is fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Into spaces, objects, or even people, creating...
I can put it in spaces, objects, or even people. Okay.
Spells that replay under the right circumstances.
Spells that play under the right circumstances. That's the key right there. Also, holy fucking shit. Watch out, government.
Dreamweaving. This is the magical practice of entering and shaping dreams with conscious intent.
Now we're talking about dream weaving. This is awesome. Like I heard about this.
Use the dream world not as a passive experience, but as a living realm where thought, symbol, and spirit interact freely. A dream weaver learns to become aware within dreams, often through lucid dreaming or trance, and uses that awareness to explore hidden truths, send messages, heal emotional wounds, or connect with other beings across planes. In this space, reality is flexible, and intention becomes form. Traditionally used by shamans, mystics, and occultists, dream weaving bridges the conscious and subconscious mind. Tools like mugwort, sigils, mantras, and dream journaling are often used to enhance control and recall. What sets dream weaving apart is that it's not just about interpretation, it's about active creation within the dream, treating sleep as sacred ground for transformation. Music magic is the use of sound, rhythm, and melody as a direct channel of magical power. Unlike spells cast with words alone, music magic engages the body, mind, and spirit through vibration. Using
music magic. And that's what we do every time we make our tracks.
Tones, harmonies, and beats to shift energy, summon forces, or enter altered states.
Yeah. Enter altered states, summon forces. I summon all the revolutionary warriors. Or if some people really follow the path of the god of storms, wind, and fire, then they go invoke the power of hurricane. That's gonna be awesome. And put them in an altered, see, even the 4 degrees, and put them in an altered state of warrior mode. Like I said, I make my music so y'all can have my music in the background when y'all blast these evil motherfuckers. Yeah. This is what they was afraid of in the COINTEL profiles. This is what they was afraid of. They said it. They said it. We're afraid of a black messiah that's going to rise out of poverty and gather the people and take back the country. Yeah. I guess I have to bear that motherfucking cross. Like your God, Jeebus did. But I'm real. And I'm the God of windstorms and fire. And there are songs in my name. And it's time for a cleansing of this realm.
Practitioners believe that sound is not just an expression of magic, but a language that reality responds to. A chant can raise power, a drum beat can open a trance, and a melody can influence emotion, memory, or even the spirit world. This form of magic appears in countless traditions, from ancient shamanic drumming and Sufi whirling chants to Gregorian hymns and modern sonic rituals. Instruments themselves are often enchanted, and certain frequencies are believed to open portals or cleanse spaces. Music magic can be used to heal, to curse, to protect, or to enchant. Depending.
Yup. Music can heal, protect, all that. All that. Yup. I can't wait until I knock these last albums out. Y'all thought y'all heard revolution. Y'all about to hear a spiritual revolution. You know, it's going to be all over in the motherfucking spiritual and the material, metaphysical, quantum world. I'm about to destroy this motherfucker on all levels and level this bitch out through the waves and frequencies, through the music. That's right. I'm about to learn echo magic too. About to see what that's about.
On the intent woven into the sound. At its essence, music magic taps into the fundamental truth that everything vibrates, and those who control sound, in a way, tune the strings of the universe. Witchcraft.
Right.
This is a broad and ancient form of magic, rooted in earth-based practices, intuition, and the manipulation of natural forces. It is one of the most enduring and diverse magical traditions, practiced across cultures and centuries under many names. At its heart, witchcraft involves working with herbs, symbols, the moon, the elements, and spirits.
Yeah. But yet they say the witches are evil. The witches ain't done nothing wrong. They ain't done nothing wrong but be in tune with nature and itself and the spirits of what they're fucking with. Nothing bad, but yeah, they was burned through the witch trials. I was heated about that because a lot of innocent motherfuckers was fucked up doing that shit too. You know, The Salem witch trials, the shit was devastating.
Bring about healing, protection, transformation, or justice. It values personal power, ritual, and a deep relationship with both the
Yes, music in the right frequency though. Yep, you're right. Because they tuned the music to the 440 frequency. And the 440 frequency is a chaotic frequency that make people fucking violent. When they were saying back in the day, 3-6 Mafia, tear the club up, tear the club up, tear the club up, nigga, tear the club. Niggas was actually tearing the club up. For real. Fast forward, I'm in high school, a cat named Little John. Little John the East Side Boys. When their music come on, we don't make it to the fourth song before somebody start fighting. We got music, and we got people getting in the mosh pit, jumping in crowds, everybody fighting each other to the music. But our frequency is supposed to be on the 432. That's the healing frequency. And I forgot when did they change it, because I talked about it on one of my lives many years ago. I'm going to come back to it. And talk about when they changed the frequency in the music. I might do that later. I'm going to find a video and I might do it later. But yeah, so since I found that out and I realized that they fuck with the waves and frequencies and shit, and I just decided to use some lyrical Tai Chi. And plus I know they 3 forms of mind control is repetition, trauma, and symbolism. The repetition, get on my level, ho, get on my level, ho, get on my level, you know. You know, or crack up in the head, crack up, you know, they just keep on saying it. The trauma is the pain that you're gonna be feeling. And the symbolism is all the symbols that they put in these music videos to motherfucking distract you and brainwash you and put you in a altered state of violence. You know, of all the symbols of motherfucking flashing of people fighting or destruction or bombs or shooting, you know what I'm saying? While the chaos is going on in the music and all the drums is playing, you know what I'm saying? You can feel that shit and it puts you in an altered state. So I'm just doing some lyrical Tai Chi on them. Sounds like the eyes wide shut. Yep. But yep, I've definitely got to do a video to go back to when they changed the frequencies from 432 to 440.
Seen and unseen worlds. Witches may cast spells, craft charms, read omens, or call upon deities and ancestors in their work. The tools can be simple: a candle, a whispered word, a jar of salt, yet carry deep symbolic power. While some witches follow structured paths like Wicca, many are eclectic or hereditary, drawing on folk wisdom passed down through generations. Witchcraft isn't just about results. It's a way of seeing the world as alive with meaning, energy, and hidden influence.
High magic, this is also known as ceremonial magic, is one of the most structured and spiritual forms of magical practice. Unlike folk magic, which is often practical and grounded in everyday needs, high magic is focused on higher truths like enlightenment, cosmic alignment, and the transformation of the self. It's often described as the magician's path to understanding the divine order of the universe. At its core, high magic relies on rituals, and not just casual ones. These rituals are detailed, symbolic, and often based on ancient systems. Practitioners use sacred tools like wands, swords, chalices, and pentacles. They wear ritual robes, chant invocations, and align their ceremonies with planetary movements. Every gesture and word is thought to hold spiritual power, mirroring the macrocosm of the universe. High magic is also deeply philosophical. It draws from traditions like Hermeticism, Kabbalah, and even alchemy. The practitioner isn't just casting spells, they're studying the very fabric of reality. The goal isn't quick results, it's divine union, spiritual awakening, and the pursuit of what's called the great work, the process of perfecting the human soul. Some famous systems of high magic include the Theurgy of the Neoplatonists, Enochian magic developed by John Dee and Edward Kelly, and the Golden Dawn rituals, which form the basis of much of modern ceremonial magic. Kabbalistic magic also plays a huge role, especially with its use of divine names and the Tree of Life as a map of the soul. Chaos magic. This right here is one of the most radical and experimental forms of modern magic. It doesn't follow any fixed tradition, sacred book, or ancient rule. Instead, chaos magic teaches that belief itself is a tool, something you can use, change, or discard depending on what gets results. It's less about what's true and more about what works.
Yep, what
Unlike
works.
ceremonial magic, which is rooted in ritual and structure, chaos magic is DIY spirituality. Practitioners can borrow symbols from anywhere: Christianity, pop culture, ancient runes, even video games, and fuse them into a personal system. What matters is the magician's intent, focus, and belief in the moment. At the heart of chaos magic is the idea that reality is malleable, shaped by will and perception. If you believe a symbol has power and you act like it does, it will. The classic example is sigil magic, where you create a symbol from your desire, charge it with emotion, then forget it and let it work in your subconscious. Chaos magicians also play with identity. Some adopt temporary personas or god forms, others use absurd rituals or contradictions to break the brain's patterns and spark real change. Divination, this is the ancient practice of seeking knowledge, insight, or guidance through supernatural or symbolic means. It's not about predicting a fixed future, but about tapping into patterns, energies, or unconscious wisdom to make sense of what's hidden, whether it's in the present, past, or potential future. Throughout history, people have turned to divination to make decisions, understand signs, or communicate with higher powers. So basically, divination works on the belief that everything is connected, that the universe leaves traces, and by reading those traces, we can glimpse deeper truths. These messages might come through patterns in cards, the movement of the stars, the flight of birds, or even random objects like tea leaves or bones. Yeah, so there are countless forms of divination across cultures, from tarot cards that use archetypal imagery to reflect the querent's inner journey. Astrology maps the positions of planets to uncover personality traits or cosmic timing. Runes, palmistry, pendulums, I Ching, and scrying are all tools used to access the unseen. Some diviners believe they're channeling spirits, ancestors, or divine forces. Others see divination as a mirror of the subconscious, where intuition speaks through symbols and randomness. Either way, the process becomes a dialogue between the seeker and the unseen world. In the end, it kind of just offers clarity, not certainty, and sometimes that's exactly what we need. Blood magic. This is one of the oldest and most controversial forms of magical practice. It operates on the belief that blood is a life force, a powerful sacred essence that carries energy, identity, and intent. Because blood is so intimately connected to the body and soul, using it in rituals is seen as a direct way to charge spells with intense personal power. In many ancient cultures, blood was used in offerings, sacrifices, and rites of passage. From Aztec rituals to Old Testament sacrifices, it was believed to please the gods or open spiritual gateways. In modern occultism, blood magic isn't usually about sacrifice, but about using small drops of one's own blood to seal pacts, empower sigils, or bind energy to a magical working. Practitioners often treat blood as a binding agent, a way to tie themselves to the spell's outcome. This makes blood magic incredibly potent, but also dangerous if done carelessly. It demands intention, respect, and responsibility, since what's powered by blood is often harder or almost impossible to reverse. Because of its intensity, blood magic is often associated with darker occult traditions, though it can also be found in protective and healing rites too. To some, it's a taboo. To others, it's simply the rawest form of offering, the ultimate symbol of commitment and sacrifice. Green magic. This is a nature-based form of magic that focuses on the energy of the earth, plants, and the natural world. Also known as herbal magic or earth magic, it is deeply rooted in the belief that the natural world holds sacred power, wisdom, and healing. Practitioners of green magic work in harmony with nature, using herbs, flowers, roots, and the cycles of the moon and seasons to craft spells, potions, and charms. This form of magic is often gentle, nurturing, and protective. It's commonly used for healing, fertility, abundance, grounding, and creating peace. Green magic also encourages sustainability, mindfulness, and reverence for the earth. It's not about commanding nature, but about listening to it, working with it, and understanding its cycles. Necromancy. This is one of the oldest and most feared forms of magic, centered on communication with the dead. Often misunderstood as simply raising corpses or summoning spirits for evil purposes, necromancy in its deeper form is about accessing hidden knowledge, divining the future, or even seeking guidance from ancestors. The word comes from the Greek nekros, dead, and manteia, divination, literally divination by the dead. In ancient cultures, necromancers were not always seen as sinister. In fact, in places like Mesopotamia, Greece, and among some tribal societies, speaking with the dead was a respected spiritual practice. The dead were believed to retain access to divine realms or secret wisdom, and necromancy was the bridge to that hidden world. Traditional necromantic practices often involved rituals at burial sites, the use of grave dirt, bones, or objects tied to the deceased. Some rites used blood offerings, trance states, or even invocations to summon a spirit into a vessel, a mirror, or a dream. In medieval and Renaissance grimoires, necromancy became more feared, linked with demons, forbidden pacts, and the darker side of ceremonial magic. This shift painted the necromancer as a sorcerer consorting with unholy forces. But not all necromancy is dark. In modern occultism, necromancy can also mean ancestor veneration, spirit work, or mediumship. Shadow magic. This is a form of mystical practice centered on confronting, integrating, and wielding the hidden, repressed, or darker aspects of the self. Shadow magic embraces the duality of human nature, understanding that true power comes not just from purity, but from self-awareness and balance. At its core, shadow magic is deeply psychological and spiritual. It draws from Jungian concepts of the shadow self, the parts of ourselves we deny, avoid, or bury. Through rituals, meditation, and symbolic work, practitioners use magic to explore fear, guilt, trauma, desire, and even taboo. The goal is not destruction or domination, but transformation. Practicing shadow magic might involve mirror work, dream analysis, journaling, sigil crafting, or working with archetypes and spirits that reflect aspects of the subconscious. Though often misunderstood as dark or evil, shadow magic isn't all about causing harm. It's about facing what most people run from, making peace with the monsters inside so they don't control us from the shadows. In doing so, the practitioner becomes whole, grounded, and far more powerful. Sex magic. This is a powerful form of occult practice that uses sexual energy as a tool for manifestation, transformation, and spiritual awakening. At its core, it's based on the idea that sexual energy is one of the most potent life forces available to us, capable of not just physical creation, but energetic and magical creation as well. Practitioners of sex magic believe that during sexual arousal, especially at the moment of orgasm, the mind becomes highly focused and the veil between the conscious and subconscious thins. This makes it the perfect moment to plant intentions, charge sigils, or direct energy toward a magical goal. The energy released during orgasm is seen not just as pleasure, but as fuel, a raw, sacred power that can be used to shape reality.
Ifa divination. This is one of the most profound and ancient systems of spiritual insight practiced by the Yoruba people of West Africa, particularly in Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. It is not simply fortune telling, but a sophisticated spiritual science used to understand human destiny and maintain harmony between the physical and spiritual realms. At the heart of Ifa is Orunmila, the divine being of wisdom and knowledge, who is said to know the destiny of every individual. Practitioners believe that by accessing the wisdom of Orunmila, people can align their lives with divine order. The primary agent of Ifa divination is the Babalawo, meaning father of secrets, a spiritual priest trained in the extensive oral texts and symbols of the Ifa corpus. When someone seeks guidance, the Babalawo acts as a medium between the petitioner and the Orishas. The process begins with a ritual invoking spiritual forces, after which the Babalawo uses sacred tools such as the Opele, a divining chain, or Ikin, sacred palm nuts to cast patterns into a divination tray. These patterns represent specific verses and stories in the vast Ifa literary system. Each pattern corresponds to a particular message, warning, advice, or spiritual insight. These verses often come in the form of poetic proverbs, parables, or historical stories, offering spiritual diagnosis and practical solutions. Depending on the reading, the individual may be asked to perform rituals or sacrifices to realign their spiritual energies, avoid misfortune, or invite blessings. Bokor magic. This comes from West African Vodun traditions, especially among the Fon people of Benin, Togo, and Ghana, and later spread to places like Haiti and New Orleans through the African diaspora. A Bokor is a type of sorcerer or magician who works with both light and dark forces. Bokors are known for their ability to create magical objects, cast spells, summon spirits, and even create zombies, not the Hollywood kind, but people spiritually bound through rituals. They often work with the Petro spirits, which are more aggressive and fiery than the peaceful Rata spirits of Vodun. Their magic includes protection, cursing, healing, and control depending on the client's needs. Bokor rituals may involve animal sacrifice, potions, sigils, and secret chants. While feared by many, Bokors are also respected for their deep spiritual knowledge and power over hidden realms. The Sangoma magic. This is a form of traditional African healing and spiritual practice found mainly in southern Africa. A Sangoma is a healer, diviner, and spiritual medium who communicates with ancestors and spirits through rituals, dreams, and trance states. Sangomas use tools like bones, shells, and herbs to diagnose problems, spiritual, emotional, or physical. One of their most common methods is throwing bones, where they interpret the way bones fall to reveal hidden truths. They also use chants, drumming, and ancestral calling during healing ceremonies. Sangoma magic is not just about fixing problems, it's about restoring spiritual balance. Whether it's breaking a curse or guiding someone through grief, the Sangoma acts as a bridge between the living and the unseen world. Their power is believed to come from both ancestral spirits and training through initiation. Liba serpent magic. This is part of the spiritual tradition of the Dogon people of Mali, West Africa. In Dogon cosmology, Liba is the serpent deity of the earth, fertility and resurrection, and is one of the most sacred figures in their belief system. Liba represents the life force of the soil, the connection to ancestors, and the eternal cycle of death and rebirth. Dogon priests, known as Hogon, are the keepers of Liba's mysteries. Through rituals, offerings, and secret knowledge, they maintain harmony between the people, the ancestors, and the land. Liba is often represented as a snake that travels underground, fertilizing the earth and guiding souls after death. Liba magic involves rituals tied to agriculture, healing, and initiation, and is deeply linked to the Dogon's astronomical knowledge and cosmic symbolism. These are sacred spirit objects used in the traditional religions of the Congo people in Central Africa, particularly in Congo, Angola, and Gaba. The word Nkisi means both a spirit and the object that houses it. These objects serve as containers for spiritual power and are activated through rituals, chants, and offerings. Nkisi can be a statue, pot, or a bundle, often filled with powerful substances like herbs, bones, nails, animal parts, or written charms. The most iconic version is the Nkandi, a wooden figure with nails or blades driven into it. Contrary to popular myth, it's not a voodoo doll, but a spiritual enforcer used to hunt down wrongdoers, seal oaths, or send justice to enemies. Nkasi magic is used for protection, healing, justice, fertility, or cursing, depending on its type and purpose. It's directed by a spiritual specialist called a Nganga, who prepares and maintains the object. Czar possession. This is a spirit possession ritual practiced in parts of East and Northeast Africa, especially in Ethiopia, Sudan, Eritrea, and Somalia. It involves people, most often women, being possessed by spirits known as Zar. These spirits are believed to cause emotional or physical problems if they are not acknowledged and appeased. When someone is taken by a Zar spirit, they may experience symptoms like depression, anxiety, fainting, or erratic behavior. Instead of treating it as illness, the community sees it as a sign that a spirit wants attention. The solution is a Zar ceremony, a ritual gathering with drumming, dancing, incense, animal sacrifices, and chanting. The goal is not to exorcise the spirit, but to make peace with it, allowing the possessed person to regain balance. This is a traditional West African spiritual practice that uses amulets or charm bags to harness spiritual power. It originated among groups like the Mande, Fulani, and Wolof in countries such as Mali, Senegal, and Guinea, and later spread to the Americas through the transatlantic slave trade. A gree-gree is typically a small cloth pouch filled with spiritually charged items such as herbs, bones, animal parts, written prayers, especially from the Quran, or personal objects like hair or nails. These items are carefully chosen based on the purpose of the charm and are often prepared by a spiritual healer or Islamic mystic. Gree-gree can be used for protection, attracting luck or love, improving health, or even cursing an enemy, depending on the intention. Some people wear them around the neck or waist, while others hide them in homes or bury them for magical effect. Juju. This is a traditional form of West African magic that involves the use of spiritual objects, rituals, and incantations to influence events or protect against harm. It is widely practiced in countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, and Benin. At its core, Juju is based on the belief that spiritual forces exist in nature and can be controlled or directed through the use of sacred items. These items may include charms, herbs, animal parts, blood, ashes, or personal belongings, all believed to carry spiritual energy. A Juju priest or spiritualist prepares these items through rituals and chants, often at shrines or sacred places. Juju can be used for a wide range of purposes: protection from evil spirits, attracting wealth or love. In some cases, people use Juju to place a spiritual curse or control over others, which has made it both respected and feared.
Feared. And that's the end of that. You already know what it is. I'll be back in a minute for another live. When I catch y'all in a minute, this is Freedom Frequency Friday, and I just wanted to talk about all forms of magic. So shout out to everybody coming through. Shout out to Eyes Wide Shut. Shout out to Charles. Much love, Amma. And shout out to everybody that's going to watch on the playback. Shout out to people that came through to hit the like button. Shouts out. Hope you have a cool day, cool afternoon, cool evening, cool night. Shouts out to everybody. Y'all respective time zones. I'll be back in a minute. I forgot what the next video was going to be about. But what was it? I don't know. It was something about some AI shit. I'm not sure. No, it was about I think it was about social media or something. It was something. I know AI is gonna be one of the videos though, but I'll catch y'all in a minute. Peace.